Hi. When I was a new wig wearer, I wanted to know the best way to store my wigs. I wanted to make sure that I was keeping them clean, dry, and dust-free because let's face it, these wigs are definitely an investment and you want to make sure that you keep them in their tip-top shape for as long as you possibly can so that you can enjoy them for a long time. So my goal today is to share with you everything that I use to store my wigs so that you have all this information in one place and hopefully it saves you a little bit of time and maybe even a little bit of money. You may look online and there are lots of other ways to store your wigs, but this is what's worked for me. So let's take a quick peek. I'll put the links below. If you want to take a look and see if anything works for you, that's great. These are all pretty cost-effective ways to store my wigs. So that was also important for me. I didn't want to spend a fortune finding a way to store my wigs. So let's take a look first. The first thing I use is a wig stand, and I use this for many different ways and many different reasons, but I love these because they're nice and lightweight and portable. The first way that I use these is at the end of the day after I've worn my wig. I always comb my wig out and either apply a little bit of water at the ends or maybe even a little bit of detangler if I need to, if there's tangling there. And then I place the wig on the wig stand so that it's ready to be used for the next day. So that's the first way that I use this. The second way that I use this wig stand is even if I'm planning on storing my wig after I've worn it and I want to choose another wig, I do the exact same things that I mentioned before. I brush it out, I spritz it with water or with a detangling spray, and then I place the wig on the stand to let it air out. I usually let it air out a few hours at least, maybe even until the next day, and then I store my wig, and I'll show you how I store my wig. But I love these for that. Also, I like these because these are collapsible and I can travel with these wig stands. So I travel quite a bit for work or with family, and I like them. I can toss it in my suitcase, take it out of the package, and they're nice and thin and they're very lightweight. And it's a great way if I need to store my wig in a hotel room or something like that, I can do that very easily. So that's one way that I store my wigs. Another way that I store my wigs are with these wig hangers in your closet. If you don't want to put your wig on your counter, or if you want to leave several wigs out at a time, it may just be easier for you. These are great. They can hook together and they store just like this in your closet. You can place several wigs on them. You can buy as many as you need, have them go from ceiling to floor if you want to, or if you just want to store one or two, this may be very convenient for you. So this is also a great option. Another option that I use, and I do this very regularly, if I'm going to be storing my wig and I'm switching out wigs, I always store my wigs back in their original boxes. I always save the original box and I always save the original tag and even the hairnet inside. For me, I just find this to be very convenient. I've already paid for the box and it keeps them nice, safe, and lint-free and dust-free. I always put them back in with the hairnet, just like they came. I live in Florida, so I also have a lot of humidity here, and because of that, I always put in a silicone pack as well. That helps me make sure that I keep them as dry as I can too. I don't want any moisture building up in my boxes of wigs, so I always save the boxes and I always store them just like this. Now, if I'm traveling also, and I know that I'm bringing an extra wig, which I always do, I love these organza bags. You can buy them individually, you can buy them, in bulk too if you want to. But I love these bags because again, they're nice and lightweight. I always keep the hairnet wrapped around the wig until I'm ready to wear it. And I use the tag that it came with. I always slip that back into the bag too. So I know at the end of the day, exactly what wig I had, exactly where it's going back to. And when I get back home, I can put them back into their original boxes or place them on a stand if I'm planning on wearing it again anytime soon. So I'm hoping that this was very helpful for you in finding out the best ways to store your wigs. Hopefully it helps you find all the information in one place. If you did find it useful and helpful, please click like and subscribe so that others can find it as well. And I'll see you next time.